Welcome to newlytrading.com. I'll look at some of the newest publicly traded companies on the TSXV, OTC, and on the CSE exchanges. This program is intended to provide insight and background on our featured company and provide additional information and links on our website, newlytrading.com. Today we're talking with David Vincent, CEO of Canamex Gold Corp. Trading symbol is CSQ on the Canadian Securities Exchange. Good morning, David.
Hi, Jim. How are you doing?
Very well. So let's start things off by maybe you giving us a little bit of your background and public market experience.
Oh, okay. Well, at the moment, I'm the Chief Executive of Canamex Gold Corp, which is a Canadian-listed company. I've been CEO for about 7 months now. I'm also a director of Arizona Silver Exploration, which is another venture-listed company, and also I'm a director of Secova Metals Corp. But most of my time is spent with Canamex Gold Corp. My background is investment banking, corporate advisory, corporate public relations, and assisting with capital raising within the natural resources sector. I set up an investment bank for an Australian company in Dubai many years ago. Prior to that, I was a senior executive with BAE Systems, which is a global aerospace company, where I worked mainly in international business development, market analysis, business planning, project financing, project management and marketing within Europe and the Middle East. And my academic background is engineering. I've got a degree from RMIT. Also got postgraduate studies in administrative studies, aviation studies, and financial planning from Deakin University. So that's me.
Tell us a little bit about Canamex Gold Corp and the two areas that you're looking to develop.
Basically, there's three legs to Canamex Gold Corp. First of all, it's got a number of assets in Nevada. The prime one is a mining development asset, which is called the Bruner Gold Project. This has an updated PEA done on it, which was published in January this year. It's got very robust numbers. For example, we run through it. The internal rate of return at current gold prices is around 40%. The CapEx payback is 1.5 years. Currently got a 10-year mine life based on that PEA, around about 45,000 ounces a year plus silver. So that's the main asset. The secondary asset is an exploration project called Silverton, which we picked up off Newcrest late last year. So there are assets in Nevada. In addition to that, we've got a partnership going with a Norway company called Harmony Chain, where we're building up models and cryptocurrencies for the purposes of looking at alternative forms of financing.
And that was one of the areas I wanted to have you kind of speak to, because the financing you're doing is somewhat unique in the industry. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. So can you kind of expand on how you're looking to incorporate the cryptocurrency into a funding model?
Yeah, what we're doing is it's called a security token. It's not a cryptocurrency. Well, it is a crypto, but it's not like an ICO. There's a fundamental difference between an ICO and a security token offering. An ICO is a utility token like Bitcoin, which has no asset backing, and all it's really got is access to the protocol, which is the blockchain. Whereas a security token has ownership of an asset. With respect to an ICO, when they're launched, it's a bit like an unregulated crowd sale, and it's often done in an offshore jurisdiction. Whereas a security token offering is a regulated offering, and in our case, under the Canadian securities regulations. So, we think the STO market is going to take off in the next couple of years. I think in 2 to 3 years, the STO universe will be much bigger than the ICO universe. So we've decided to go down this route. We're the first public company in a Western jurisdiction to launch an STO.
Does that strategy, does it eliminate the more traditional kind of investor?
No, it doesn't. I mean, it's a bit like apples and oranges. I mean, they're quite different animals. I mean, an equity share is an equity a piece of equity in the company, and you have voting rights, and generally it's got more leverage. Security token has, in this case, the asset backing is a royalty on the Bruner Gold project, and each token is defined by 1/200th of an ounce of gold. So that's the asset backing. So really it tracks something different. It tracks the price of gold, and it tracks the utility of the token on the blockchain. So they're two entirely different security types, but they're both securities, you understand? And what it means for the equity holder is that, the company gets funded so that we can build the mine without issuing any equity. So it's non-dilutive.
When are you looking at closing your offering?
We haven't opened it yet. We're looking to open it next week sometime. We're just finalising the logistics of the white paper, which is basically just like a short form prospectus. That will go on our website. We're working with the legal guys to get a subscription portal opened up such that there's no paperwork. So the subscriptions will all be done online. So once we have all that in place, hopefully by Monday, we should be able to get an announcement out next week and open this offering. And the plan is to keep the offering open for 12 weeks, right, which is about 3 months.
After you close the financing, what are the next steps for you guys in moving forward?
What we're going to do with the money is 10% of the money we're going to put into gold bullion, which will be stored with the Royal Canadian Mint. So, the tokens will be asset backed from day one. Another 20% of the money, we're going to go out and buy some additional gold royalties to back the tokens. And 70% of the money, we're going to finalise the permitting for the Bruner Gold project. We've got about 9 months of work to do to get all the permits in order, and then we'll be at the shovel-ready stage.
If people are looking for more information and to have somebody maybe walk them through this because of this new twist that you've brought to the market, how do they reach out to you?
Well, the best thing is to go to our website, because once we launch this, we'll have a separate landing page. And on that landing page, there'll be frequently asked questions. There'll be a 3-minute video on how the security tokens work, and there'll be a white paper which describes in a lot of detail how the whole thing works. But it's not complex. I mean, after you read the stuff and watch the video and read through the frequently asked questions, I mean, within 10-15 minutes you'll understand it. In fact, it's easier to understand than shares. I mean, the problem with equity shares is there's so many damn players. You've got registries, you've got brokers, you've got back office, you've got the stock exchange. I mean, have you ever tried to move shares from one broker to another? It's a nightmare, man. Quite a complex setup. Whereas what the blockchain does, it takes all of that out of it. So all you got is the buyer and the seller. No broker, and T+0. I mean, it's just so simple.
Well, we'll definitely keep an eye on what you guys are doing. Thank you for taking the time to kind of explain things to us, David, and we wish you and the company all the best in the future. Our guest was David Vincent, CEO of Canamex Gold Corp. Their trading symbol is CSECSQ on the Canadian Securities Exchange. That's it for this episode of NewlyTrading.com, the podcast. Join us next week, same time, for another featured newly trading company on the TSXV, OTC, or CSE exchanges. And go to NewlyTrading.com to subscribe. NewlyTrading.com and this podcast are solely intended for information purposes. If you're considering investing in securities, always consult a professional advisor. I'm Jim Ripley.